Hi, everyone, and welcome. We are going to be talking about artificial sweeteners. So, the bitter truth about artificial sweeteners. And this comes from an article by Dr. Mercola, and it's on artificial sweeteners that are tied to the faster brain aging and decline. If you have any questions, please feel free to give Dr. Justine a quick text at 647-987-9355. I wanted to welcome Dr. Justine. She is our leader here at the Justine Blainey Wellness Center. She is not only a chiropractor, wife, a mother of two, but she is also a passionate warrior for your health and wellness. Please help me welcome Dr. Justine.
Hello, everyone. Amazing topic because our brain, what's more important? So, we're talking about how to protect your brain from those artificial sweeteners, but we have a brain octane, how to get the good gas in the most important part of your whole body, your brain, how to be sharper, how to be healthier, how to better memory, prevention of Alzheimer's, dementia, and nutrition information and research around that. That is in person coming up in April. We have balance exercises. We have different exercises on how to improve your healing and some essential oils talks. So we have some different talks online for everyone and in person. So stay tuned. But today we're talking about these artificial sweeteners, and they are toxic. I know you can get them at Tim Hortons. I know you can get them, McDonald's, Burger King. You can get them at, Starbucks. But we want to swap these for real sugar or healthier sugars. I know they look harmless, but they have absolute consequences. It's beyond what the taste or the calorie content. It's more important to keep your brain sharp and resilient. Cognitive decline is more than just like, I forgot my keys. I don't know where my phone is. I ran upstairs to get something and I forgot what I want to get. It starts with subtle changes like just forgetting what you want to say, language concerns, and then it develops into more serious concerns like dementia, everyday decisions, like food shopping or getting dressed or the order of activities that you need to get done in the morning. So our daily choices do matter. Now, the first thing is these artificial sweeteners, they are everywhere and they come with lots of different names: aspartame, saccharin, erythritol. They're in flavored drinks, protein shakes, granola bars, protein bars, yogurts. They're everywhere. And that's when they start to add up, which exposes your nervous system to more chemicals, more toxins, and that's going to damage how your brain sends messages down to the rest of your body. So we really want to work on today. We're going to talk about 5 ways to manage and avoid these artificial sweeteners. Our daily choices and what we put in our mouth, whether it's what we drink or what we eat, are huge. They're not small. These are huge decisions that affect our years later. I've had 2 grandparents that deal with Alzheimer's. My mom is starting to forget things. It is difficult when you lose your memory, lose your focus, lose your language skills. It really affects all aspects of your life in order to communicate with your family, with your grandkids, with your own kids, with healthcare practitioners, missing appointments. So this research that we're going to talk about is crucial. So they've done a fabulous study in Brazil on over 12,000 people over 35 age, and they wanted to look at these artificial sweeteners and how it affects your memory, cognitive decline, how it affects your brain. So here's some of the results. If you're in middle age, you're at more risk. It's not the seniors, it's the middle-aged people that are more risk, had more decline compared to other age groups. And the more artificial sugars you had, the more that magnified the problem. Also, they found that there was faster brain age affecting, so brain aging, so meaning that you're lowering your cognitive skills and your ability to think. That affected your ability to talk and say things quickly or respond quickly, and it affected to an aging decline of approximately 1.6 years. So these risks they also found were not just heavy users And a heavy user would be somebody who has like a Diet Coke once a day, or somebody who has fake sugars in their yogurt once a day, or a protein shake with fake sugars once a day. So heavy users isn't multiple times a day. People who put a little pink or blue or yellow packet in their tea or coffee once a day, that would be a heavy user. Number two finding from this Brazil study on over 12,000 people is that diabetes had even increased risk, and it increased their risk with diabetes. They were especially vulnerable to cognitive and memory decline. And this shows that artificial sweeteners are far from safe, and especially those with already health conditions such as diabetes. If we look at number four, different sweeteners did show different levels of harm. So you could have aspartame, saccharin, alsulfane, erythritol, sorbitol. They're all different names, but they did have different levels of risk versus tagatose didn't have those risk signs as much. So the easiest thing is to avoid. And we'll talk about those 5 ways in a moment. But yes, there are different risks with different ones of these artificial sweeteners. The more artificial sweeteners that you take, the more decline. That makes total sense. It's more toxins, it's more chemicals, it's more risks. And you're going to see them in an earlier time part of your year. And again, when we look at those levels, the high end is an artificial sweetener once a day. The low end is about 20 milligrams per day. But the idea is none as best. So these brain sweeteners, these artificial sweeteners interfere with how our brain sends messages. It interferes with these neurotransmitters. That's how our brain sends messages from our brain to the rest of our body. So it's going to affect how we speak, how we move, how we digest. It's going to affect our metabolic system. And if we have poor metabolic system or poor BMR, basal metabolic rate, we cannot manage our sugars. We cannot manage insulin well. So it increases our cortisol, increases our stress response, which literally increases our risk of stress and any and all diseases. They have found that, yes, lifestyle changes can lower your risk of these diseases. So it's super important that that's what we control. We can control what goes in our mouth, what we drink, and what we eat. And to a certain extent, we can control what we think. Now, they researched with this study found that these brain effects are even true after taking care of other risk signs like lifestyle. So even when they adjusted it for data for age, sex, blood pressure, heart disease risk, lifestyle, these artificial sweeteners still had damaging effects. So meaning if you're doing everything right, but you're eating artificial sweeteners, especially once a day, you're still at risk of this cognitive decline. So you can't undo these risks, meaning you can't outrun these risks. We still, even if you're exercising, eating like a perfect machine, except for these, you are at risk. So these artificial sweeteners, they interfere with your gut health and your brain gut axis. How your gut is involved with your brain is involved with your gut, is so crucial for our energies and our DNA repair and how our body functions. So they know that aspartame affects the good bacteria in your colon, which is going to increase your risk of disease, affect your immune system, affect your energy production, affect your DNA production, and it creates harmful microbes that lead you more vulnerable. And we know that if we have these artificial sweeteners, when they're exposed to your brain, they accelerate the brain decline, and you can't undo it. So it's better just to start right. And these effects can be very, very long term. So the goal is to work towards some more natural sweeteners. It's not that you can't have treats, it's just choosing to make your treats. So for example, in our household, we use monk fruit, and I will use monk fruit drops, or the monk fruit looks like sugar white. It's 1-to-1 ratio, or xylitol. We're going to talk about that, but important maple syrup, pure unpasteurized honey. It's much better to look towards natural choices and stevia to make your treats. And you can do that even gluten-free. We've been using almond flour, coconut flour, gluten-free flour, and so that you can arrowroot flour. So you can use different areas to still make your pizza dough or to make your bread or to make your wraps. It can be done with egg whites and healthier flours and healthier sugars. Is really important with your protein shakes, that so many protein shakes that taste delicious have aspartame or natural sweeteners, or it'll say sucralose, and that those areas even say it says sugar free or low sugar, but it has sucralose or aspartame. You're decreasing your risk of obesity, maybe because it makes you more hungry and you want to eat more because you've had these fake sugars, but then it's creating over time, especially if you're middle age, cognitive decline. So what are the 5 steps that you can work towards getting rid of these artificial sugars and protecting your brain? Number 1 is just cut them out completely. Replace it with something else, right? Look at your gum, your yogurt, your protein shakes, your protein bars, your salad dressings. Replace it with that xylitol. Replace it with monk fruit. Replace it with maple syrup. There are natural choices, even natural choices, healthier choices with maple syrup. I got maple syrup made with monk fruit. So then again, it was less calories. Anything that you look at 0 calorie usually is made with problematic artificial sweeteners. So look at if you're a pop lover, you love your sodas, definitely look for those xylitol or poppy, those healthier pops. And over time, you will get used to them and you'll still have that carbonated drink. Still not perfect, but at least you're not having the fake sugars. Look towards whole fruits, especially low glycemic fruits. Berries and green apples would be healthier. Making your own protein bars with, you can use eggs and pure unpasteurized honey or maple syrup and all the different nuts, seeds that you like, and dark chocolate or carob, and you'll be able to have that amazing treat or protein bar, but you made it yourself. It's organic. Look for these natural items. You will also, when you use the natural items, you'll have fewer sugar cravings. Like if you're somebody that I gotta have it, I gotta have it, I gotta have it. All those chocolate bars, all those sweets, even if look like they're sugar free, are going to just make you more hungry and have more sugar cravings. So if we look at number 3 is protect your gut health. Talk to a naturopath about what probiotics do you need. What kind of detox do you need? An example here from Dr. Jockers is protect your gut, which will eventually protect your brain and that brain gut axis, is do a weekend of white rice, root vegetables, and ripe fruits, just to clear out your gut and let your gut heal. It's paper thin cells, and it can get lots of different leaky gut symptoms or that lead to, you don't even need to have IBS or sore belly, but you could have areas of low energy or areas of low focus and brain function. I do recommend, though, when you're creating a plan for your gut health, talk to a functional medicine doctor. I use my sister-in-law, Dr. Blainey-Broker. Talk to a naturopath, but find the right way for you to protect your gut, because that will protect your brain. And we do on our wellness center, on our YouTube and on our Facebook, we have many different wellness talks on gut health because it's that important. Number 4 is choose those natural sweeteners, especially at home. But now you can get little stevia packets as well. Or now you can get a protein or a shaker bottle with a section at the top that you can put natural sweeteners if you want. Or you can make sure you get that healthy protein powder that is grass-fed, meaning the animals were not fed junk, because you are what you ate. And you're looking towards that monk fruit or xylitol, pure dextrose, pure cane sugar if needed, but look for those natural options and you do get used to them. Some of the questions that people often ask, but will coming up. But first, number 5 is focus on what you get, not what you have to restrict. And I know this is tough. Like, my husband, lots of times, my kids, they want that, mile high dessert at the keg, or they want that treat at Tim Hortons, but really focus on the long haul. It is so much better to be in your senior years with great memory. So I say choose your hard. It's either hard now or it's hard later, right? And do you want to be that senior where you're dependent on others? You can't remember your appointments. You can't remember simple things like how to write a check or how to do an email, how to sign your name. Like, what do you, at that point, you are dependent on the medical system, usually on medications. You're dependent on different people assisting for your daily life, and you're dependent on your kids, making their lives so much more difficult. So I'm saying this because choose now. Now is the time to say it's not restrictions, it's just the way I live. My mind says I'm a healthy person. I choose not to eat artificial sugars. That's just not going in my diet at all. And if it is, it's at the minor, smallest amounts. Aim for 250 grams of carbs each day, along with your quality proteins, grass-fed, free range, and wild, your healthy fats, whether it's avocados or olive oil, grass-fed butters or ghee. Focus on the foundation to keep that brain energy. It's not a diet, it's upgrading. It's an opportunity to focus on the better you, putting the best gas in your tank. Just like you would not put garbage in your car, you would not put sand in your car or bananas in your car, you would put the best gas you can in your car so it lasts longer. You are a machine too. You can do it. You can make these great choices. So go into some of these questions. How do the artificial sweeteners affect your brain? They speed up that cognitive decline by approximately 1.6 years and affecting your memory and your ability to talk and your overall thinking skills. Who are at risk is the people in middle age under 60, the strongest risk of cognitive decline, and those with diabetes at the increased risk. What can you use instead? Stevia, monk fruit, xylitol, pure dextrose, pure cane sugar. Look for natural, pure options, pure maple syrup. And if you are protecting your brain and you have been using artificial sweeteners, the beginning is small steps. Slowly reduce it. Slowly look to switching to that stevia, those whole fruits, looking towards adding more fruits for your treats, making one recipe a week of a sweet, like we just made chocolate bananas, muffins with no sugar. Look at options instead, and the right protein powders that are with the proper sweeteners and with grass-fed proteins. And when you have a protein drink, that can make you feel like you're having a treat as well. This is going to be steps to restore your energy production and protect that long-term brain function. And what does this have to do with chiropractic? Chiropractors are the masters of the nervous system. And if the nervous system, that's how your brain sends messages down your spinal cord out to all the different organs, tissues, and cells in your body. So artificial sweeteners damage and cause havoc to your nervous system. And if you're a regular user, then you need more regular spinal rehab checkups. That doesn't mean you need an adjustment to align the spine if it's crooked. What it means is you need more regular checkups. The more garbage in, the more toxins, more damage to the nervous system, the more regular checkups you need. Chiropractors make sure that the spine is in line, shoulders are level, hips are level, so you can manage the stresses of your life better. And with Max Living, we focus on your mindset, maximize your mindset, maximizing your nutrition. And that's why we're talking about the damaging effects of these artificial sweeteners, maximizing your nervous system so your brain and body connect better, including the brain and gut health, maximizing your exercises, and minimizing those toxins. So share this with someone you care about. Protect them from these artificial sweeteners, because obviously they're being used if they're constantly being given out by Tim Hortons, Starbucks, and whatever other coffee place. They're being used, and we need to teach others to just focus on natural sweeteners and to be their healthiest self. So stay tuned. Lots coming up on Brain Fit, Brain Health. Join us with our Brain Octane Makeover coming up soon. We are here to support you to be your very best. And we want you to make sure you're helping your entire family and friends.